Hey, welcome back to another Get Geekish podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's Derek over there. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's okay over there.
I was like, yeah! There's excitement.
It's a rave going on his head. I'm Bino. And we appreciate you joining us. We spend about a half hour a week talking about the geeky things that go through our heads because that's what Get Geekish is all about, right? Just little things that we get excited about.
Yes, I mean, that's the whole thing is, we don't have necessarily time for everything, but when we did have time, sometimes we dive into the nostalgia.
Yeah, we dabbled, we'll say. We dabbled.
Dabble.
and I think we're going to go down a path today that some of the youngins are going to learn a few lessons about the way things used to be. Because what spawned this whole idea was the idea of... Spawn the idea was the idea? That makes sense, whatever. Just put the words in the order that makes sense. Prizes that you had to wait and get mail order style. Like, cereal is notorious because cereal prizes used to be awesome. I mean, I don't think there even are prizes in cereal boxes anymore. If they are, it's like a poster or a QR code or go to a website and put something in. But when we were kids, cereal was notorious for having prizes inside the box. Way better than Cracker Jack prizes. We're talking actual legitimate toys sometimes. There were some, whenever you go cereal shopping, I don't know if you were the same way to go with my parents, if they let me pick out a cereal, the toy that came in the box was generally more important than what the cereal actually was.
100%. That's I used to base which cereal I was going to get by what was in it. For a hot minute there, I ate nothing but Frosted Mini Wheats because they had like monsters in my pocket as a toy, and I was just sit there and eat those and collect those. So,
and I know I must have eaten a lot of them because I found this webpage on Retro Junk that has a bunch of pictures from old cereal box toys, and I legitimately remember having a lot of them or going to friends' houses that had them because they were good enough to keep. They weren't throwaway toys. There was some of these DuckTales toys that I remember seeing, this Gizmo duck that I remember actually had in my toy bin. Ninja Turtle bowl. The Trix had that color-changing spoon with the rabbit on the end of it that I'm fairly certain every kid had.
What? So that was, let's see, Trix. That's General Mills?
I believe so, yeah.
So that one they had, like, General Mills would do color-changing spoons for darn near everything. At a point, I had a whole bunch collected on that, and it was fantastic. But when they would even tie them into with some, like, movies, because I'm pretty sure I had, like, Lion King ones or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they merchandise everything. You look at some of the older pictures they have on there, too. You find the thing, there was candy, I think, with, was it Lucky Charms or something like that? You got a free package of Rainbow gum or Bazooka gum, and you got free candy whistles in your box of Sugar Pops or Sugar Smacks, something like that. So there's a lot of cross-branding going on, which, hey, you want some sugary cereal? How about some sugary candy to go with that later in the day?
Yeah.
Your parents will love you. But this is already way off topic already. The big deal came when they had the big prizes, because not every box had just a toy inside. Once in a while, they had a bigger, better prize that you could get, but you had to save your proofs of purchase and then mail them in to the company.
And that was the worst.
It was, because if you did the math and put it together, like, there's one specifically that I remember. I got a Trix thermos. It was a big silver and purple insulated thermos with a Trix logo on the side and a big straw on the side of it. Nothing big deal, but at the time for a 6-year-old, it seemed really, really cool. But you had to save up like 8 proofs of purchase. So in theory, we had to spend $30 on Trix cereal, cut all the box tops off and save them all, put them in an envelope, mail them with not 1 but 2 stamps to the General Mills Corporation. And you'd fill out all this information for it. And you read the fine print, and the fine print was generally 6 to 8 weeks for delivery after your order is received. Some of them went up as far as 8 to 12 weeks. And in 6-year-old times, 6 weeks was an eternity. So you do that, and you'd save up out of them, and you thought you were like taking one for the team because you were eating all this Trix till your stomach hurt, so you could eat those proofs of purchase. You go down there and you go check the mailbox every day for 2 or 3 weeks. Nothing comes. You give up and think that I got lost in the mail. It's never coming. And then by the time you forget about it and don't care, some package showed up for you today. What's this? My thermos.
Yeah, remember that scene in Christmas Story where he's getting the Ovaltine, and to get that decoder ring. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what we had to deal with. Mm-hmm. And it always, it was never worth it. It was always one of those ones where, I don't know, like...
It was oversold because I think it was the same thing of mail order toys used to be a thing in general that weren't even just prizes. They had those magazines that were at the back of every Zoo Books and every Boys Life magazine where they had the little 3 or 4 pages of these online catalogs where you could order X-ray specs and all kinds of pranks and stuff like that. But it took literally months for them to show up at your door, and they were generally like the equivalent today of, I would say, dollar store trinkets. Like, oh yeah, this was spectacular.
Well, I mean, they made you feel like you were getting good stuff. I don't know. Because I definitely did the tricks. It wasn't tricks. What was it? I did something. And when I did it, I think it was not a shirt. Maybe it's like wall crawlers came in the thing. There was definitely something. I think I ate Frosted Flakes for it, and I'm not a big fan of Frosted Flakes. They're low tier cereal for me, but I did it to get the prize. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you think they're great, but it was one of those ones too where he sent away, and this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome. You finally get it, and you're like, oof. And again, in kid logic too, we didn't know how much our parents were spending on a box of cereal, $2, $3, and you had to eat like 8 of them or something like that.
But you had to do it quick too, because the turnaround on those promotions are usually a couple months. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you need to send in 8 proofs of purchase by the 31st of the month. You're like, I gotta eat some cereal.
Yeah, they made sure to just make you just chow down cereal. Parents would be like, you got to stop eating the cereal. We can't get another box. Like, but I got to get the prize. And some of them would have the stipulations where they would have a little bit of turnaround time, but not much.
Yeah, I found some of the other ones on there. There was a Count Chocula shirt you could get with a Harlem Globetrotters cross branding on it, which would have been awesome. But again, this was a different time because that's half the price of these prizes. They were all strange little weird trinkets that they didn't have in everyday stores all the time. Now, thanks to the advent of things like Amazon and Walmart, I could get a Count Chocula branded T-shirt with gold embroidered sleeves here by 10 o'clock in the morning if I really wanted to. And it's no big deal. Somebody just bring it to my house. But there was no place to get it before, so a lot of these prizes were, in a kid's eyes, one of a kind or extraordinary or super unique that no one else is going to have. I found one that I did get, the Ghost Chompin' Pac-Man hat.
Do you still have it?
No. Oh. But I got that thing when I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I probably got a picture of me in it somewhere. But you got Pac-Man cereal, and it was one of those old baseball caps, but it was all completely round on the top. And then it had the ghosts on top of it, and then the rest was all yellow and had the Ghost Chompers Pac-Man Fever written on the front of it. It was a ridiculous-looking hat, but I loved the thing. I think I wore it more than any hat I can remember when I was that young age. And it just meant I ate a lot of Pac-Man cereal, and I had to pay shipping and handling, which, I don't know about you, your parents all made you feel real guilty, but you've got to send them $4 for this? Yeah? We already spent $30 on the dang cereal.
Yeah, if you probably do the math, adjust for inflation, it wasn't. I mean, we already know it wasn't worth it, but it definitely was not worth it at all.
No. But it worked because like we talked about, that cereal, the toy that was inside that you could get, that made me buy cereal that I would never have chosen. I mean, I think I bought Grape Nuts one time. Grape Nuts were terrible. Nobody ate Grape Nuts on purpose, and I bought Grape Nuts because there was something in that box that I wanted to play with.
It's so funny because, I mean, cereal still does it kind of, but not to the extent of how we did it.
It sucks now though. Like,
I mean, it's just like the Happy Meals in some places.
Yeah, you can get even that. You can get some cool stuff, but most of the toys that are in cereal boxes, they don't want to take anybody's space or weight, so it's literally like a postcard or a sticker. And usually now they just go the cheap route of they put a QR code or, hey, here's a 17-digit code, enter it on our website if we steal your personal information, and we'll give you a free avatar for your Netflix account or something. Like, it's a whole lot of steps, a whole lot of work. There's no instant gratification, and they're generally just not good.
Well, and that's what I was going to say too. Is nowadays, it is the go to GeneralMills.com, play our game, and this is the code that'll get you a free trial for it. Or, here's a free trial for Netflix, or here's some free movie passes, but the stipulation on that is you have to buy like 2 other movie tickets. And
here's a coupon: buy 7 movie tickets, get 1 free.
Right? And occasionally, I'll go down the cereal aisle and I'll see something in there. Normally, it's kind of the color-changing spoons. I think that was the last one, was for one of the Star Wars that came out. Mm-hmm. It was a lightsaber spoon. And I know we say this a lot, but back in our day, it was so much better. Well, I mean, for a kid aspect on cereal, because
you got something to actually play with. It was a toy.
Well, yeah, it was weird when you had that joy, that feeling of you go to the grocery store, it's time to get groceries. Your parents are like, "How are you doing on cereal?" "I'm out. Go pick some new ones." And most of the time, I know some kids couldn't get like the sugary syrup. Most of the time, my parents were just like, "Get the cereal because we know you're not going to really eat it anyway, except for a snack," which is normally what I did anyway. But it was you'd go down, you'd be like, okay, Lucky Charms, they got Micro Machines this time around, but what does Honeycomb got? Honeycomb has, no, that's not good. And you just sit there and compare. And maybe that's where we got some of our skills for adults. I don't know. But it was always
shopping.
Yeah, it was always fun to do that. And now it's just kind of like,
if I get some Sugar Crisp, I get a sticker. If I get some Fruit Loops, I get a Hot Wheel car. Hey, yeah, Toucan Sam, my man, come on over.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! The last thing I purchased, I remember it was Pokemon cards. That's what was in the box. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones too, and like, because back then you was like, what am I going to get? Nowadays it's like, which one's the cheapest? Let's see here.
Price per ounce. It's the only thing you need to know as adults. Price per ounce. Mm-hmm. Well, let's maybe think a little bit farther out of not just the mail-in prizes, because we could rant all day about back in my day when I was a kid and things happened, and how things that you couldn't order something in mail and expect to show up. If you wanted something to show up the same week you ordered it, you were paying dozens, if not hundreds of dollars to make that happen.
It wasn't worth it. It's not like Amazon where it's like, hey, same day.
No. I mean, I get those things pop up now, and they're like, would you like that by 6 p.m. this evening? Like, well, if it doesn't cost anymore, sure.
Right? You can do that? Make it happen.
But the advent of catalogs, we've talked about with Christmas podcasts in the past. Catalogs used to show up every quarter or so. We have big catalogs from like JCPenney and what are the companies send out big catalogs?
Macy's,
yeah. There's like the few, because they'd send out. I mean, there were like inch thick, hundreds of pages catalogs, everything they could have to order on there.
Well, I mean, even some of the not department stores, but some of the, like Kmart would send out kind of like a catalog type of thing. Mm-hmm. I would remember, like, I feel like the mall maybe did it at one point.
I think every little shop.
When malls were cool.
They did some smaller catalogs, and they were catalogs full of stuff where now when you get something in the mail, they're trying to get your attention, so they send you a catalog that is literally like a 3-page ad with 4 items on it. And you're like, okay, cool. But these were catalogs like, oh, here's everything we have. Please come into the store. What else we get in the mail? The yellow pages.
Yep, phone books.
Show up at the front door, big old phone books. I was talking to some of my wife's teacher and some of the students. The idea of a phone book just over the head. Like, why would you need a phone book? You'd get a actual like paper book to look up somebody's phone number. Why?
Well, and that's the thing too. Is like, not to go on because I know we're talking about mail, but that's the thing. Is like what I was thinking the other day is like, I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, let me hang up the phone. And I was like, nobody hangs up the phone. They end the call, but nobody literally hangs up the call anymore or rolls down the window. Things that we say to do certain things, we don't necessarily do anymore. When you roll down the window, you're not rolling down the window, you're just pushing a button. You're not hanging up the phone. You're just ending the call. But yet we still kind of say those.
I feel like you've uncovered a future podcast right there.
Right? So that's kind of funny you bring up Yellow Pages, because that's one of the ones too, is like, I'm sure, I think the Yellow Pages still exist for like businesses, but again, Google, nobody uses it. Another thing by mail,
Stalkers
music.
do.
What's that?
Stalkers do.
Stalkers, yeah. Another thing by mail is like something we've brought up in a previous swing is music or DVDs. Or not
Is
DVDs,
Columbia
but-
House still trying to find you too?
right? Columbia House, BMG Music, the whole get 12 CDs for a penny.
Yeah, this was amazing. Anyone that was alive in the time, you got postcards like every 3 weeks for one of those music clubs. And they had some great deal. It was either you buy 8 CDs or you get 8 CDs free if you buy one, or you buy 4 CDs and then you get 24 CDs for the next year and blah, blah, blah. And this is back when CDs were $15 to $20 a pop. But that suddenly made your collection huge. You got 12 new CDs. You looked like you were like Scrooge McDuck with your music collection. And there was a lot of people that found ways to cheat the system, but BMG sent a lot of people to collections. A lot of people I know got sent to collections.
I was very close.
Because they had those agreements in there, and they kept very good track that if your address got free CDs, you were going to spend another $60 to $100 at Columbia House over the next 12 months, or they were going to send somebody to break your kneecaps.
They were ruthless too, but I mean, it was that's again another one of the fun things of you get the catalog and they have a list of all the CDs on there that you can get, right?
No, the best, it was not a catalog though, remember? You unfolded it, it was like 8
Oh,
pieces
yeah,
like a map, and they were all little stamps that you tore apart, and then you put the stamps on your little card to mail it back to them.
But the stamps never stuck right, so
Yeah.
I was always I'm sure that they opened up so many envelopes of like, what the?
No, part of the NSYNC one's still in there. I don't want NSYNC. Take the NSYNC part off. They're going to think I want NSYNC.
Did you? So, I'm pretty sure that because I did Columbia House and I did BMG. I was a stupid kid, but I'm pretty sure I got one CD that I never ordered because it was one of those like it was stuck to the thing and I didn't realize it. So I ended up getting, I don't even remember what it was, but I was like, what is this? Huh. But I think I ended up enjoying it. I don't remember what it was because all my CDs got stolen at one point, so they can have them. But
I definitely tried to work the system. I was a little miser back then, too, so I'd do the deal. Like, BMG was generally a better deal because I think theirs was you bought one and you got 8 free.
Something like that.
And Columbia
yeah.
House was you got 4 free, then you bought one and got 4 more free, and then if you bought 3 more, you got 4 more. Something like more
Well,
complicated.
and they always changed it up, too, because you would get buy the one, get so many free, right? So what is like buy one, get 6 free? So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I can get these 7 CDs now. I really want these ones. So, and you'd start to do the math. And then like 3 weeks later, they'd send you another thing like, hey, get 12 CDs for a penny. Mm-hmm. And we never read, I mean, I didn't read the fine print of after you buy these, you have to purchase 5 more CDs at, market value or whatever. So.
Well, that was where I played the thing because I learned that they did the different sales on stuff too. So especially they do like genre sales or artist sales. So there's ones you knew you wanted. You had to figure out, okay, over the next year, I want these 12 CDs. So I'll get these 4 right now. I'll pay for this one. Then I'm going to wait until they do a rock sale. And then I can buy my Nirvana and Pearl Jam CD and they'll be buy one, get one free, but it'll still count as buying 2 of them. And the next time I'll come around, they'll have a sale where it's like $250 off the 80s classics. Okay, so then I'm going to get my 2 butt rock ballad things because they'll be half price. And there's a couple times I really worked the system pretty well, I think, as a 12-year-old.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, again, we had to do that, send it back, and then we had to wait 4 to 6 weeks. And, oh, my God, dude, you just you unlocked another core memory. I know we bring that up. You get that long cardboard box, right? And you peel it open, and there's just all the CDs right in that box. Oh, that was such a feeling. That gave me.
I have enough music to last for weeks.
Right? You just gave me a dose of serotonin right there with that memory because, oh my God, I forgot about getting that box and just like opening it up, and you have the CDs in there. You take the CDs out. And it was always fun too because, like, again, 4 to 6 weeks, so you'd be checking the mail with anticipation. Not today. Maybe we become lazy because now it's just like, oh, I want this album, download.
Yeah. Take some of the magic away, I suppose.
right?
But it also takes away some of the letdown, because I don't know about you, but a lot of the CDs that I got from BMG and Columbia House that were free, like, oh, I love that band. They got that song. It's really good. And you get it and you listen to the rest of it. I'm like, oh, this CD's terrible.
Because of them, though, it did find some cool bands like Zebrahead and everything like that, because when it got to a point of like, I don't know what else to add, I just look at the album covers. So I definitely bought some albums just because of the album cover. Had no idea. I was like, oh, it says it's alternative rock. Okay, cool. That album cover looks cool. So
pictures speak louder than words. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. But oh man, and then I mean, to go along with that, don't forget about the 1-800 call this for your stadium rock anthems or your pure moods or anything like that. Because again, they had to mail that to you, and that was for easy. This is only $19.95.
You mean 5 easy installments of $19.95?
Right. Oh man,
yeah. There's no store. There was no store you go to that as seen on TV section. Now you can go to Walgreens or Rite Aid or Kohl's, and they've got an entire rack of all the as seen on TV gadgets. Before, the only time we saw those were if you stayed up too late in a weekend and you were watching USA Up All Night, and they started hawking the Popeel pasta maker and the Sham Wow, and then you call this number, and then weeks and weeks later they might send it to you.
Or for whatever reason, you're watching. It really, like, I saw a lot of like the CD ones on like summertime, because like I'd go to my grandma's house during the summer, and she had cable and a big screen TV, and I was watching Nickelodeon, and like in between Muppet Babies and stuff, it was what's on. It's not a bad show, but in between those they'd be like Pure Moods, and like I just got hooked every time that came on. I was just like, these songs rock. And my grandma bought me the CD, and I feel so bad because I have no idea how expensive that CD was.
It was probably like some $89 collection.
Well, no, it's only one. It was only one CD, so I mean, I think
it's still
that
probably $24.95.
I was gonna say, I think that's the one where it was like $19.95 plus $6 shipping and handling, and that was a surprise. But
again,
that's what I remember.
They're crazy. You transport us back 25, 30 years ago, and you didn't have access to those songs. The only way you had those songs was if you bought the albums that had those on them, or you sat there and listened to a radio station that played those songs, and hopefully they came up at one point or another. There wasn't the instant, like, I want to hear that song. So being able to have that on a CD player or a cassette player was like, oh, I can listen to the song whenever I want. I can play it and rewind it and listen to it again, and rewind it and listen to it again. Yes! Unless,
okay, so that just brought up the Jock Jams one, right? Where they would play the snippets of the song. So I'm looking at this commercial in my head right now. They'd be playing snippets and then scrolling through the other songs, and you don't care because you're just jamming out to that one song. They play a snippet of another song, scroll through another list of songs, and you're like, yeah, I never bought Jock Jams, but I know people who did. They got it. They put in the CD. There's only like those 3 or 4 good songs on it that they played in the commercial. The rest of them are just filler, and you're like,
well, they
paid
did
$30 for this?
They had the last word too, because they listed those songs. They got this song and this song and this song and more.
Yep.
and more translated, and 3 more tracks that you don't care about, but we're gonna put them on there so you feel like you got something else. But wait, there's more. Yeah, there's a CD insert too. It's really cool.
Right. Buy now, and we'll throw in this special cloth to clean your CD. Jock Jams limited edition. Oh man, all those little gimmicks too. Anyway, but yeah, we had to wait for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now we want to listen to music, or somebody's putting out a new album. Let me check it out. Let me stream it real quick on Spotify, or let me check out a couple songs on YouTube. And it's like, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, man, do you remember having some friends over? You get into it, and like, oh, you guys, you like go in the room and like turn the lights down, shut the doors, like, all right, here it goes. Push play on that tape player, and you all just standing around, just like, yeah, this is cool. This is great, man. Eddie Vedder could, oh, yeah.
Or like you said, the recording of it was always like, and you'd always miss like the first 10, 15 seconds because you're like, oh my gosh, they're playing my song, and you run over there and hit record and get a snippet of a commercial at the end because you're not paying attention, or the DJ babbling about something. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy how far we've come to where we don't. I mean, the cereal's still trying to get you to mail in stuff, but everything's become, and we've talked about this, everything's become so instantaneous. Like, I don't think the kids today could hack it in our time type of thing.
I honestly think it takes the magic away from the waiting, the anticipation for it. But at the same point, it's a lot more exciting too, because when there are something given away, it's like I would rather just have something now that I want rather than tell me I'm really going to like something, make me wait for it, and then get me disappointed. But it's too late to do anything at that point.
Oh man! Speaking of that, did you ever try to return CDs to BMG?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't contact them for your life.
Now, if you sent them back and it got processed, you could get some credits on your account, but you could never get money back. That didn't work.
And they had weird stipulations too. With like, most of the time I got you stuck with it.
I just want to find out how much stuff used to go that way. I don't know about you, but you had pen pals when you were a kid. Every birthday and holiday card came through. Like my wife's family still sends those back and forth, but the number of birthday cards sent or received from my mailbox has completely dwindled. When I was a kid, is every family member mailed you something, your friends and family mailed you something. You'd mail something to every family member on their birthday, all this stuff going on there. It was like an art form, writing messages and letters to people. People spent hours. They'd have entire writing desks with pens and things so they could, I'm going to write a letter to your Uncle Harold and tell them what's going on and blah, 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 and send us on there.
We even had a part in school where you'd pick out a pen pal from, overseas, and you'd write to them. And most of the time it was like a couple letters and it would stop. But I mean, or like hanging out with, I met some friends at camp. We pen palled a little bit, and then it kind of just fell apart. And it's weird. It's weird how that's.
Well, like, and now there's more access now. You're like, I should talk to another country. Well, let me just switch my region settings to Latin America. Hola! Right? ¿Cómo estás?
I totally, because that was one of the things in like middle school. We had to pick a pen pal thing for that, or one of them was like a military thing or something. I don't remember. I think it was actually both. We had to pick another kid from overseas, and
you wrote those awkward letters back and forth like, hello, I like to read books in my classroom and draw pictures of bunnies. What do you like to draw pictures of? Do you guys have food in your country?
Yep, dude. We said the stupidest things on those letters. Oh my god, we were so dumb. Man.
But I hope you enjoyed this trip down Little Nostalgia Lane, because the mail, it ain't what it used to be. It's way different now, but we don't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get things in the mail, and it's magical. We complain about having to wait 6 to 8 weeks for something to get here from China sometimes. That's about it.
I don't know how many times you and I had this discussion when we worked in radio too. We're bidding on stuff on eBay, and we're like, wait, I don't know about this. One's coming from China. It says it's going to be, that's too long.
Well, Amazon throws some of that on there too. You can order something like, I'll order this, and okay, delivery date is expected July 29th. What?
What year is this? Yeah, we've become very spoiled.
We have. I mean, spoiled rotten when it comes to a lot of those things. And it's for better or for worse. It's the way it is. Well, we'll go back to the beginning part. As far as a mail order prize or something you got from your childhood, what is either the best thing you got or the thing you remember waiting the longest for and being disappointed in? Let us know at Get Geekish.
I'm pretty sure I mailed in something. I remember I mailed in for something. The other one, I can't remember what I got, but I don't remember this one either. But I mailed in for something, and I never received it. And they didn't really have an 800 number, so you had to send another letter to follow up and go, hey, I sent in this stuff. Where is it? And I never got a response back. So you just reminded me about that. There's something out there that I never got.
It's time to write some nasty Google reviews.
Right? Except I don't remember. It was a cereal, but I don't remember what it was.
I ordered a T-shirt in 1987.
I never received it. Give me back my $3.75, please.
Plus postage.
Right?
Anyway,
adjust for inflation.
The mail. Let us know. At Geekish, best thing you ever got in the mail that you had to wait for, or the thing you were most disappointed in. We want to hear from you at Geekish, and we will talk at you next week. Hey, thanks for listening. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. Find us on social media at Get Geekish, and if you want more podcasts, we got plenty of them.